Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is ADLINA binti BADIUZAMAN. My metric number 274037. The aim of this assignment is to conduct a study on street hawker, entrepreneur and individual with payslip. In this study, our group selected street hawker, which is compulsory, and individual with payslip to interview about their business, financial, emotion and challenges that they have been through nowadays. The street hawker we have been interviewed is Mrs. Soleha binti Osman, who is the seller of various types of kuih muih in Alusta Kedah. And the individual with payslip is Mrs. Siti Zubaidah binti Saad, who is one of the employees in CJ Sentry Logistics Sdn Bhd in Port Kelang, Kelang. This study is very important for us to know about their financial information in order to analyze it, such as identifying their income stability. It also gives us advantages since all of us is the students of Islamic finance and banking, so it should be for us to know how to manage the financial, and it may be applicable for the future later.
My name is RAKINAH AMIERAH binti RASIDI. My metric number 274044. Now my turn to explain about the objective of this service learning. The objective is to establish an income statement and balance sheet for both groups. The income statement and balance sheet are important as a financial statement that can measure the performance of both groups and it can detail the financial. It also provides financial information for the both groups, where the area is performing well or not. In terms of income statement, it consists of income or revenue and expenses over a period of time. It known as a comprehensive income statement. Meanwhile, for the balance sheet, it indicates the assets and liabilities of the target group. It known as a statement of financial position. Okay, that's all from me. Now I will pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
Okay, so for the purpose, the service learning aims to assist the two targeted groups in planning their income and expenses, or we know it as wealth, the assets and the liabilities. And it is also for us to learn the real situation of the group's financial standing in order to appreciate self-consciousness on accounting value and concept that can be useful for individual and business.
The process and findings of interview. There are 5 steps of process of interview. First, do background research. Second, make an appointment. Third, construct schedule to interview. Fourth, work environment. And fifth, report of the interview. Do background research. We try our best to find individuals who have a payslip and have experience for more than 20 years in any company. We do not use any social application to find this group because one of our group members has a family member with more than 20 years experience in their working. We decide to select Mrs. Siti Zubaidah binti Saad as individual with payslip for our group. Second, make an appointment. We made an appointment with Mrs. Siti Zubaidah through her daughter, and we wait for feedback from her to collaborate with her. Third, construct schedule to interview. We try to arrange our schedule with Mrs. Siti Zubaidah and set a suitable date and time to interview her. Since Mrs. Siti Zubaidah has a work from home schedule, so it easy for us to set a time and date to interview her. We set the time and date at 27 December 2020 on Sunday at 11:30 a.m. Work environment. The workplace environment is very clean, tidy, and organized, and equipped with all office equipment. It also includes a place of prayer, toilet, pantries, and a store to keep the documents safe. And the last one is a report of the interview. We had discussed and prepared the question to ask to Mrs. Siti Zubaidah in the interview. The result and feedback from the interview is stated and described in the written report.
Okay, next my part, finding of interview. It consists of 3, introduction, financial and challenges. For the introduction, we have been interviewed individual with FATIN, is a city divider in Saat. She was born in Jiran, Selangor. Currently, she is 48 years old and works as an admin executive at CJ Central Logistics in Berhad. She is very friendly and humble person because she is confident to share her experience in the field she involved in. She also shared the scope of her job description, that she has the opportunity to communicate with many people including supplier, vendor, government such as standard and research industry Malaysia Siri, and custom department and as well as private sector. For the financial, her monthly income is 2,822 per month. She distributes her salary into some part to cover her expenses, which is 10% for saving, consists of 5% to Bank Islam, while the another percent for CIMB Bank. 20% out of the salary used for the car fuel expenses, while for the 30 to 40% expenses for utility bill, such as water, electricity bill, Wi-Fi and others, while the remaining percentage is used for the other things such as toiletries, OT, being outside, and so on. In terms of asset, she has house, car, and motorcycle. For the car payment, she has already made the payment, while financing for the houses, home financing using CIMB Islamic Bank, and motorcycle using parts and credit. For the challenges, during pandemic COVID-19, she need to work from home and if she want to go to the office, she must follow the rotation system. Therefore, she has to adapt to the new norm set by the company and not allowed to work in a large capacity at one time. When she work from home, it will reduce communication with colleagues, causing some of the work to be delayed or slow, and it also due to the unstable internet problem at home. Therefore, she took alternative to communicate with the co-worker, bosses, management, supplier, and others by using WhatsApp and email to share the information that related with the work. Okay, that's for me. Now, next presenter. Thank you.
Thank you, Kina. Thank you, Kina. I will continue on the process of interview for the stroker. I will explain on the background, main appointment and the report of the interview. Another two part, my friend will continue on the construction schedule or to the interview and the work environment. For the do background research, we try to research our on street worker in our near resident because easy to communicate and to do the interview. We determine which workers we want to approach each one of the cousin of our group member. So for this part, we used to approach such as buying the way of the worker cell and ask about the condition of them as well also. For the make an appointment, to make an appointment with Puan Saleha, we one of the group member contact Puan Saleha to know the time to make an interview because Puan Saleha also teaching at the kindergarten due to the COVID-19. Puan Saleha teach using the virtual link. For the report of the interview, we all prepare some of question to ask Puan Saleha about the selling and the make an interview session. As the result, we compile the answer to the final report. Next, I will pass to my friend.
Okay, for the next part, which is construct schedule to interview, our teams have successfully secured a schedule to interview Mrs. Saleha during her leisure time, which means since she works from home, so we decided to interview her on 30th December 2020 on Wednesday at 11 in the morning. For work environment, since Mrs. Saleha runs a small business, she made those cream wing in her own kitchen. When she gets the order, which requires a lot of quantity, it will take some time to prepare for it. She lives in a village house, so her kitchen is not so big, but it is comfortable for her to prepare her order. Mrs. Soleha is a married woman with 4 children. Currently, she is 41 years old. She was born in Kedah. She first started her business in 2014 and until now her business is still ongoing. She likes to learn her family recipes and after giving enough thought, she started to commercial her hereditary recipes through her small business. She began her business to increase her family income. Apart from being a businesswoman, she also works as a teacher in kindergarten. She works there for 4 hours every single day except for weekends and public holidays. For challenges, during this pandemic, as we interviewed her, we found out that she has been faced with difficulties, which is a decrease in sales. This is due to the imposition of movement control order by the government started from March 2020. During this MCO, citizens are instructed to stay at home except for the head of the family to go out buying necessities for their needs. Throughout this moment, all businesses are affected except for online shopping business. So for her small business, she has been faced with a decrease in sales.
For the financial, Mrs. Soleha used her own capital to establish the business to buy the equipment. She never asked money from her husband or her family. So we can see that Mrs. Soleha is an independent person which is can survive by their own to set up the business. For the average sale that she got in a month about 500 ringgit, excluding the expenses for the raw material and anything else. So the sale include the ceremony and that she put at the stall for the two stall. She paid salary for the stall rent which is RM 16 ringgit per month. It means that 30 ringgit for a stall. And she paid the salary for the workers about 2 ringgit 50 cent a day, but for the selling the way. For the customer make order for the ceremony, Consular never take charge for the COD, which is Consular only charge for the amount to pay to pay the way only. So for the expenses about utility and other, Consular did not include in the financial because as my friend mentioned before, she made the kuih at her house, own house, so she no need to pay the utilities bill and others.
This is income statement for individual with payslip, which is Mrs. Siti Zubaida binti Saad for October and November for year 2020. In here, we can see the difference, the income statement for revenue, which is in October, there are amount 2,822, while the November 5,222. Since the November, there is the additional income where Mrs. Siti Zubaida have breakthrough, and it minus to cost of goods sold, and the total for October 2,459 ringgit and 5 cent, while November 4,859 ringgit 5 cent, and minus with expenses. So the total of expenses for October 2020 2,098 ringgit, while November 3,898. So the net income for Mrs. Siti Zubaida For October 2020 is RM361.05, while November 2020 RM961.05. Next is balance sheet. Next is balance sheet for individual with payslip. For October 2020 and November 2020. At the asset, there are total assets for October 2020 is RM3,196.05, while November 2020 RM3,796.05 minus with liabilities. The total liabilities is for October 2020 835 and same with November 835, and the total of equity for the equity capital, she get capital from her husband for 2,000, and plus with net profit for October 2020 and November 2020. So the total for equity plus liability is RM3,196.05 for October 2020, and for November 2020, RM3,796.05.
This is a income statement for the Mrs. Soleha. For the October 2020, the sale that you get about 500 compared to November 2020 increase about 150 because she get an order for the ceremony or for because of school holiday. For the COGS, since the order increased for the November 2020, so the ingredient for the November 2020 increased from RM85 to RM150. So the same minus with the COGS, we get the profit. For the operating expenses, for the rent that I mentioned, for one install is RM30. For the salary workers, RM2.50 still remain. So the total operating expenses is RM135 minus with the gross profit. We can look at the net profit for the October and November a bit different, which is because of the ceremony order from the ceremony.
Next for balance sheet for curriculum sekalian by Mrs. Soleha. Her asset on October 2020 amounting to RM480, while in November increased to RM565. She has no liabilities, and the equity for October 2020 amounting to RM480, while in November RM565.
I will explain about the difference between payslip and straight worker. Firstly, in terms of surplus or deficit, which is on the payslip, Funds he has fixed monthly income, which is the income can be deduct for the saving for ETF and so. While for the straight worker, he used the own money to start the business and to buy the equipment. For Puan Zubaida, he pay rent for the utilities, electricity, water bills, and the extra. For the Mrs. Soleha, she used the monthly sale as to run back the capital of the business. In terms of saving, Mrs. Zubaida can plan saving wisely, but because the salary is fixed on that month, which is the basic salary is confirmed, while which is include the bonus, overtime, and other. While for the straight worker, Mrs. Soleha did not have a fixed saving, which is the saving is depends on the sale. For the payslip, Mrs. Zubaida has enough money to pay the expenses, and he has two savings, as my friend has mentioned. He has saving in two banks. For the straight occur, if the sale of the month is higher, so the higher saving she could save. In terms of income, for the payslip, more suitable and more stable income compared to the sale occur, which is non-stable income because it depends on the current sale or etc. For the payslip, Mr. Zubaida has paid for the kutu, so she has a basic income. She has another income in terms of income, and for the shelter also, she has another income, which is salary from the kindergarten, but salary on the kindergarten not like salary from Zubaida, which is the difference between types. Could see on we could see the different type of work and the different payment salary.
I will for for emotionally part. I will conclude for four of us. Okay, at first, we feel this assignment was a little burden since we have to interview two groups. Actually, we had two groups to interview, but because of their busy schedule, we had to cancel the interview. And it was a pressure to us since we have to search and take some time to get the other two groups. Fortunately, we are able to find and get a good response from these two groups, namely street hawker, which is Mrs. Soleha binti Osman, and individual with payslip, which is Mrs. Siti Zubaida binti Sa'ad. And we are very grateful because all our group members try their best to get the other two groups as situation at this time is very difficult due to COVID-19, where it is hard for us to carry out the assignment face to face. Okay, for during the study, I find out that it is not easy to get involved in the business, where we have to face up and to deal with various pressures and challenges, and need to try to get used of being exposed to potential risks. Next, I will pass to Rakina.
Okay, next, expectation before the interview and does it change after it? Before starting the interview, our feeling is speechless because this is the first time of the assignment need to interview two groups consisting of the hawker and individual with payslip. We admit that we was a little burdened by this assignment when it was quite difficult to find these two groups because at MCO at that time, and also it was a bit surprised and happy that two groups cooperate well with our group during the interview process. They were very friendly and happy to share their experience in their field of work. We are also very grateful to each member of the group who has given a high commitment to complete this assignment successfully. Okay, next I will pass to the next presenter.
I will continue on the suggestion to the two target group, which is my part will continue on suggestion for payslip. This is point Zuwaida. As we as I we can conclude that point Zuwaida need to has as our suggestion, which is point Zuwaida can has the schedule for the work for between home and the office, which is certain work can be do at home with like documentation, filing, while work that need to do to the office, she can do the work at the office by get the permission from the boss. And for the working and logistic company required a big commitment and sometimes have to work until the night. For the like I said, for emailing purpose or filing, she can do at home by using the internet connection. For the data system and others, she can do at home. While for the work that cannot do at home, we can finish at the office. Next, I will pass to the Zakiatul.
Our suggestion to Mrs. Saleha as a street hawker, in our opinion, by expanding her business will increase a lot more of her money income. She can try to provide cash on delivery services for her customers, since nowadays people are trying to limit their movement due to this pandemic. This service will surely attract more people to buy clothing from her, because usually these COD services are provided by them who sell heavy meals. Next, she has to try to promote her business through social medias, because it is the fastest way to spread news and information. It gives advantage to her because people are always having their smartphone in hand. Thank
You.
for
Watching.
thank you.